Next question. Okay, this is a long one. This happens to be a very good and informative forum. Thank you very much. Kudos to the organisers. Many questions were answered, but there are a lot of quote-unquote cyber warriors and critics out there that is sadly not part of this forum to listen to this. How does MEI or the auto industry plan to engage with the people, at the same time educate the public on, I suppose, what has been discussed in this forum?
Cyber troopers. MEI cyber troopers.
Yeah. Well, since there's a mention on MEI, yeah, you know, this is the first time that we are organizing this forum, and this is an open forum. Anyone, you know, can come and ask questions. If you know that probably you know, you can't post questions in the second session because of lack of time and so on, but you could have actually also put your questions in the Facebook, you know, and we have been you know, putting this outside there for at least a month. Okay, but the whole idea of having this forum is exactly to actually, you know, get engaged with the stakeholders, with the public, regardless of whether you are the industry player or you are a consumer or somebody who is linked, attached to the auto industry. It is important for us to listen to your views, you know, look at the views on road tax. I believe that will be one of the issues that will be, you know, that we will be considering and will be a spin-off from this forum. So we are hoping to hold this forum every quarterly. You know, please like our Facebook, then you can get updates when is the next forum, and you are most welcome to come. You're most welcome to put your questions there. And on top of that one, you know, our portal, MEI portal, is a two-way communication, and it is really a social enterprise based portal. It's not it just us giving information, but really is also about you telling us, you giving input, what do you want, how do you think that the industry can be more competitive. So we are really very open about this. There is no hide and seek about this, really, you know, don't, because really, you know what, I give one example. Every time when I comment in any of the major newspapers, when they put some remarks and I answered, and I said, this is Madani, they don't believe it. They say, hey, is this true, this is Madani? We never seen any government-related agency replying to any, you know, to any comments put forth in the papers. So it is about openness. We believe in openness. We believe in transparency. Okay, there are certain extent that we can do now, but more we do of this sort of engagement, the more that we can engage, the more that we can talk openly about issues that are to come. There are more things to discuss, really.
And I think from our perspective, going in directly the right direction there, we're open to that dialogue as well. We have our Facebook, we have our friends on Facebook, the people that contact us, but I think this was with this one, and that's the appeal for us on the automotive side as well, is that it's for the first time really an open dialogue. We're here to listen, we're here to understand what are the issues out there, and for those cyber warriors that you mentioned out there, whoever that mentioned, actually we need to now spread the news. This is the first go. We are hopefully and we're looking forward to many more sessions like this. And I think it's important that now we take it with a certain seriousness, but also with a certain long-term view on things. This is just the first step in an open dialogue. And we hope that if we continue to repeat this along those times, and as long as we can create additional value with our discussions here, and the word spreads out, I think we will also ultimately get these cyber warriors, the majority at least of them, into this program and into this fold as well, and thereby increasing basically our reach and make this much more understandable and transparent.
All right. Just a bit of a question, maybe learning from other brands as well. Maybe Honda or Mercedes. What has the engagement been with your own customer circle, customer base, to develop yourself?
With regard to this. My auto industry, or
not necessarily, just from your best practices.
Well, actually, I think as we all may know that the internet usage is the most effective to validate. So, for example, like the utilization of Facebook as well as the YouTube is actually very, very effective. We're really good at it. And one of the items that we have conducted recently was actually how to educate hybrid technology. And we try to create a viral video on the YouTube, and it has, within a couple of days, I think 3-4 days, we might be able to achieve up to more than 150,000 likes on the YouTube itself. So, which I think in future utilization of Facebook as well as the YouTube will be a venue that we can actually promote further on this kind of.
All right.
The same thing is true for us. We have in the meantime about more than 140,000 friends on Facebook. And of course, the recent introduction of the A-Class has helped tremendously. But we're also open to this kind of a dialogue because this is for us just the next step, and it's an extension of that program that can be easily extended also forward into basically going online on social media in total. It's something that has been working very well for us. The reach is out there. Yes, you have to be able and you have to be willing to also take some risks because the open discussion sometimes is difficult to control. But I think without that level of openness, you will not be taken seriously. And I think that's our target here as well.
Thank you. So the last question I hope would be the great close for this forum. The question is from Shafiq Audi. His name is Audi, A-U-D-I. So he comes name. What do you see for the future of the automotive industry in Malaysia, and are we to increase our output capacity? I guess this hopefully will conclude direction for this forum. Something that Mr. Marinan have to answer.
What was the last one?
Are we to increase our output capacity?
Output capacity.
I suppose that means.
I think there is, this is not a question of a choice. We have to make sure that the industry remains relevant, because Cik Madadi just mentioned there about directly and indirectly 800,000 people. This is the livelihood of these 800,000 people. So at the end of the day, yeah, we want the industry to continue, but for players, including us, how do you remain competitive? If you're not competitive, then you will have difficulty. As the market opens up, there'll be more challenges. There'll be pressure. I think Dr. Aisha talks about market forces will determine at the end of the day how you position your products, your services. And I did mention about the cost of ownership. That plays an important role as well. Consumers are much more in demand. They talk about quality, they talk about safety, a lot of things, technology, but at the same time they talk about affordable pricing. And that's going to be difficult. Yeah. So my take is that we have no choice but to ensure that this industry remains relevant, and we have to continue to be competitive. I think Roland talks about opportunity to export. Similarly, for us, apart from domestic market, there's opportunity out there. If you're competitive, you got a good product, you got a good after sales service, then there is more chances for you to be able to compete out there. But it's not going to be easy.
I think there is two possibilities and two growth opportunities here. First of all, with your target in Malaysia to make this a high-income nation, naturally there will be more people that in the future are able to afford cars. Let's not look too closely at the traffic situation, because that also will become worse then, and we're nearing the situation as in Indonesia and Jakarta and then maybe also Bangkok, so we need to somehow tackle that issue as well. But certainly I think from an income and from a perspective of what money people can basically in the future put into vehicles, there is growth potential still in Malaysia. But then again, as you mentioned also, I think the second large part is we need to become competitive in Malaysia, or remain competitive with exports as well, because that's the other growth potential for us. And I just wanted to make that point. It is instrumental. It is an absolute must for us to come into higher volumes, to come to economies of scale, and with economies of scale bring costs down for the vehicles, so vehicles become even more affordable but also more profitable for the manufacturers, because that's why we're here, to make money. And then we can also become more competitive in the whole Southeast Asian region. I think ultimately that's the target of this whole idea of having a local car manufacturing brand.
Okay. So in closing,
Hold on, just to, since we're talking about the way forward, yeah. So I was just opening my numbers here. to make sure that what I'm going to say is correct. So moving forward, we are targeting a production volume of 1.35 million in Malaysia in the year 2020. These all targets in the year 2020. 1.35 million. We are talking about an export of 10 billion of components. Even we are also targeting in the aftermarket to have an export-oriented business worth of 2 billion. We are targeting to have additional workforce in the auto industry of about 180,000, both manufacturing and aftermarket. We are looking into developing 180 of our vendor components supplier to be at class level 5 supplier, meaning they are able to do product design. Another 150 of our vendor having capability to develop process design, and another few hundred of them having a level 3, meaning able to do production at a reliable and statistically stable level. At the same time, we are also looking into developing design centers in Malaysia, having a full-fledged VTA facility, and also having a few industry spin-off industries such as aluminium, design engineering, foundry, testing on subsystem as well as component and others. So really there is a lot of targets that we are looking forward to achieve by the year 2020, and in terms of GDP, from currently 3.2, we are targeting for the Malaysian auto industry to contribute to a 10% GDP in the year 2020.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. That's the last question, and I hope the comment from Cik Marani basically means that this is something to start with. The My Auto Industry Talks is about being open, getting the openness, getting feedback, and this is the start, it's not an end. And therefore, before we end the session, I would like to invite Mr. Madani to present tokens of appreciation to the panelists. Please, Mr. Madani. Yep. So we'll start with Mr. Roland Folger. Dato' Aisyah. Dato' Aminah Rashid. Mr. Akbar Daniel. And Mr. Hazri Samsuri. Okay, so the day is not over yet. We have a Ramadan, we have a buka puasa at roughly about 7:29, 7:30 for everyone. It's open to everyone. Before I close the session, I'll firstly like to say that when you registered, when you arrived here, that there was a photo session with a backdrop. Those pictures will be posted on Facebook, so you may tag yourself at the Facebook page of the Malaysia Automotive Institute. It's www.facebook.com/AutoMalaysia, Auto Malaysia being one word. Secondly, for those who parked within the premises of the Renaissance Hotel, your parking tickets may be validated at the registration counter, and you will be paying a flat price. Thirdly, most importantly, right, to continue the spirit of openness that we've developed in the My Auto Industry Talks, we'd like to say, and we've already informed this to the panelists, that there is no tables specifically for the panelists, right? This is your chance to rub shoulders and have discussions with any panelists, because we've asked them to sit separately and they cannot sit together in one table. Okay, and that means for their guests as well. So this is your chance. If you have any questions for any one of the panelists here, they will even queue up with you to take the food. So this is how open we want to be, and this is how engaging we want to be. So thank you very much for your participation. I know it's Ramadan. Thank you very much. Say again? Yeah. By the way, there are many questions that we have received involving other players in the industry who are not here today. These questions hopefully will be posted up on the MAI Facebook page, and we give opportunities for those who are not involved in this first forum, and we hope to get involvement from everyone in the future to answer your questions on the forum. So we will be posting up your questions on the forum in due process, right? So thank you very much to the 6 panelists. Good job, everyone. Thank you very much for the participants. I hope you enjoyed the session as much as was able to engage us and us able to engage you. With that, I close the session. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.